This is great. It's one of those videos where you're like, oh, is this titled clickbait? Or is William about to yeet? I am done. I'm done. What am I done with? What am I done of? I don't really know. But I just kind of exhausted. I make videos to entertain people. Like, that's the bottom line. Is it's like, I want to entertain people, make them laugh, make them feel like motivated or inspired, and then everything else kind of is secondary. If it pays my bills, if it puts a roof over my head, that's sort of the secondary effect. It allows me to do it full time. Basically, is I feel like I kind of live in this nightmare of making new videos, and I don't know when it happened, but for the longest time I would just make something and put it out, and I didn't really care. And as the channel grew, for some reason, I've been more and more terrified. Hey, this is really important. I've become more uncomfortable posting stuff. And I know it's unhealthy. I know, I feel unhealthy the way that I exist on YouTube. Like, it's not good. It's not the creative aspect of making videos. It's the judgmental and just, I don't know how to say this. I feel like I live in a constant state of criticism where I do something to entertain people, and then there's always negativity that comes back. So it's like you put something out, negativity comes back. Positivity comes back too, but all I can think about is when the house burned down, people figured out a way to be judgmental about it. And that blew my mind. It was the worst time of our lives, and people still somehow figured out how to be negative about it, especially with the GoFundMe. Cameraman John's brother set up a GoFundMe, and people donated money, a lot of money, more money than I ever could have imagined. And at the time I had $800 in my checking account. I had no idea what to do with it. I honestly, if you want to know long story short, I did nothing with it for 2 years. That money literally sat in an account because I didn't know what to do with it. I was so uncomfortable. And since that happened, people have constantly, I don't know. I don't want to complain. I don't want to feel like I'm complaining right now, and I feel like I'm complaining. But we went to Disneyland, I think a week after the house burned down. A guy named Jeff, who works at Disneyland in the park. This is not corporate. This is just a normal guy who works at Disney. Gave us his personal tickets. He got us into the park. And I posted a picture on Instagram. And people, it's not even that many people. There were comments saying, wow, I see you're spending your GoFundMe money well. What I'm trying to explain is doing YouTube has this whole dark side of constant judgment, and you can't escape it. My house that we were renting, there's a whole series of people who were debating, oh, he was renting, he didn't own it, so it's not his house. Yeah, but all my shit burned down, I lost it all. There is a conspiracy video on YouTube still, to this day, that calls me a crisis actor. And it's serious, it's not a joke. And there's a whole comment section about how bad my acting is. What I'm trying to say is, generally, 90% of everything is so positive. Maybe even 99% of everything is so positive. But there is this percentage of this extreme negativity. In the X-ray video. I didn't show this comment because it pissed me off so much. For some reason, it still bothers me. Smart guy, one of the top %, doesn't even have a slim girlfriend. Welcome to the modern West. If you want to make fun of me, make fun of me. But why are you coming after my family? It's like a punching bag. I feel like a punching bag. And my only option is to not look at anything. Because even if I look at 99% of positive, even being online and making something and showing, you give it to me, here's this thing I made. I put my soul, I literally put a part of my soul into everything I make. It takes me way longer than you guys would imagine to make a video. And then someone comes along and uses you as a punching bag. And even though 99% of everything is amazing and positive, it's really hard to explain why even a handful of just nasty comments can make you feel bad. And like maybe I'm just like weak. But it makes me sad. And it's like I don't want to not read the comments. But I feel like I shouldn't read the comments because there are comments that say things like, I miss William before his house burned down. I can't help but feel like kind of defeated all the time. Like I really just wish I could just make something and just publish it and have no idea what people think. And that makes me sad. Like, what do you mean you miss me before my house burned down? Like, why are you even sharing that? Do you want to see what my first video looked like on the William Osmond channel? If I never changed? Like, that's what I'd be making today. If I wasn't allowed to change and do what I want, I wouldn't enjoy doing this. But yet, someone has the, like, audacity to tell me that they want me to keep doing what they want me to do. But that would make me not happy to do it. Why? And so there's a place where the comments sort of are even worse. It's the subreddit, the William Osmond subreddit, because it's specific to me. Like nobody stumbles across it on accident. Like somebody goes there specifically to talk about or share memes about me. And it's like I do lurk there. And I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. 90% positive. But there is just this like kind of just, I don't know how to describe it other than kind of like weird, disgusting like speculation about me, who's somebody you guys have never met. And constructive criticism is always important. But there's a point where it's no longer constructive. The state of William's videos at the moment. Hi all. First of all, I don't want to come across as disrespectful in any way. I have been an avid fan of Big Willie since the early days of his channel, but nowadays I don't think he has the same level of content that he used to produce. Do you guys think this is the case? Why or why not? I think it would bother me less if it was downvoted into oblivion, but it's not. And even though I know that it's stupid and that I shouldn't listen to it or shouldn't bother me, it still does. And that feels pathetic. It feels pathetic that it bothers me. It's like, oh, like just, why? Like it's like dehumanizing. Like people sort of, they put, a YouTuber up at this like God tier level. Like, oh, this person is, they're unaffected by any sort of insult or mean thing. And then they proceed to dehumanize them. It's like, well, they're not affected by me being a jackass, and so I'm going to, therefore, be a jackass. No specific, no nothing. How am I supposed to learn from this as what to do differently? You guys don't know a lot about me. I could be the Zodiac Killer.
Okay, no.
What? I am the Zodiac Killer.
Oh, yeah?
I hide so much. Because the audience, they don't want to see me suffer. Like, they don't want to see me being homeless. But there's this part on the flip side where they don't want to see you succeed. People do not want to see you be successful. It's not about money, though, but it is. It's like, it is. Like, Jimmy, I'm busy. I'm going to need you to just hang out down on the floor for like 5 minutes. Is that cool, buddy? Me, as a YouTuber, I started off and I made maybe 10 views a video. I'd post a video to get 10 views, and I made no money. And then I started posting videos and they'd get 50,000 views. And I still made no money because I hadn't even monetized the channel yet. And I just kept doing what I was doing. And like, as more people watch, you make more money. But I'm afraid to do anything. I'm even flustered right now trying to figure out how to describe this because I feel like, yeah, once you tell people that you have a career and it's like you've made adult money, then they're just, oh, do I even talk about the car? I say, but I feel like you see the fact now that I'm hesitant to talk about the fact that I bought a car is so sad. And I'm like thinking right now, do I edit this out of the video? Because like in 2019, I bought a Model 3 Tesla, and you guys have never seen it. I said, I'm either going to buy used cars for the rest of my life or a car that drives itself. And when I had made enough money where I could buy a car that drove itself, I bought a car that drove itself. And I haven't told you guys because I'm still traumatized from the GoFundMe. Like everything I ever did, like so many instances people just say, I see you're using the GoFundMe money well. You're using the GoFundMe money well. You're using the GoFundMe money well. I'm not even going to tell you what I did with the GoFundMe money. I didn't buy a car with it, though. I bought that with money I made. There's this term, this paradox, I call it the Emma Chamberlain paradox, where relatability will bring success, and success will kill your relatability. Right now, this is going to sound bad, but I kind of hate making YouTube videos. It's not it's not the video itself, it's the what comes when I post a video. The negativity or the criticism or the fear of failure. And so it causes scope creep, and I spend more time working on videos, and I try to make them bigger, try to do more editing, try to make them, fancier, and it's like I end up procrastinating. Like I make the mountain so big, like so much work, that I just procrastinate. And it's like I still love the thing that I'm doing. Like I love making stuff, and I love like science and engineering, but I'm afraid to show it to people. And so I procrastinate, and it takes me 10 times longer to make a piece of content than it used to, because I care more now than I used to. I used to just not care at all. I remember we posted a video in one day. We filmed it and edited, and I posted it at like 2 a.m. in one day. I don't think I could do that right now. And what ends up happening is I sit in my chair in front of my computer for like 12 hours a day. Like actually, like 12 hours a day, every single day. Like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Like I'm afraid to make videos. I'm afraid to post videos. I don't know, it just makes me feel like weak. It like makes me frustrated with myself.
Is this going to be really offensive?
No. No.
Okay.
When have I ever done anything offensive?
A lot of times. Do you really want me to listen? No, this is okay. I just don't. Don't put it in the blackmail folder, okay?
What should I do?
Just look at me.
Hi.
Ready?
Yeah? Oh, you're behind camera?
Yeah, I'll be behind.
Oh, okay.
How much of me do you see?
From your nipples up.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yes. I don't know what this is. What is this?
Why do mean comments affect you more than good comments?
Because it's just...
Gotta kick the camera.
Oh, wow. That's like deep shit. Because I don't trust the positive comments, but the mean comments, you're always like, oh, is there some truth to it?
You know what? I feel like mean comments don't affect me unless I kind of believe it. Like, I feel like if a mean comment is like, you only know this one scale and you're using it to like propel yourself and trick people into thinking you actually know how to play piano. And I'm like, that's exactly what I'm doing.
Do you read your comments?
Have
Have you ever read your comments?
Yeah, I've read them. I read it for the first 10 minutes when the video's out.
Why do you think that negative comments are so much more impactful than good, nice comments?
Because good, nice ones is like just in a pool of nice, but then the negative ones, it's like, why is it negative?
But if there's so many nice ones, then why do the negative ones affect you more?
It takes a lot of effort to go out of your way to say something mean. It's pretty easy to say something nice. Mean comments, just like, I don't know, it's just stronger. Like,
why?
because when it's mean, it like just, and it gets under your skin. Like a nice comment just kind of like sits on your skin like a nice lotion, and then a mean comment is like hooks that dig under it. It's just more intense.
The positive ones I don't believe, but the negative ones I do. Not even like, they're not personal, they're not really about anything. They're the comments that I know are so obviously wrong. It's like you feel like you've been yelled at, but you just can't, you have to kind of just like accept it.
Do you ever get affected negatively by mean comments?
Yeah, man, all the time. I try not to, and I try to. I saw your last video about the mean comments about the X-ray machine too. I thought it was hilarious.
I'm going deeper.
You're going deeper?
I just saw like a Reddit thread and somebody had commented like, oh, it's really sad the damage that these last years have made to her or done to her. And I'm like,
To you, they're talking about you.
yeah. And I'm like, what fucking damage? You shut up. And that like stuck with me. And you're like texting your friends. And yeah, I mean, sure, I went through a rough time, but I feel fucking fine. I feel healthy. And you're like, what damage? Do I look damaged? And then you're like texting your friends the screenshot and being like,
Do you read the comments or you try to avoid it?
I read the comments.
Like, what's the worst kind of comment for you to get?
Something that targets like insecurities, I think, that you already have. Like they just shoot in the dark and like they get some.
And that happens.
Yeah, totally. I think at like one point in my YouTube, I was like making a lot of stuff I wasn't really happy with. And like I knew I could do better, but I just didn't have like the tools and resources. But like my mind was like 10 steps ahead. So like one comment was like, all you're ever gonna be was like this, like fucking like duct tape hot glue inventor. And I was like, no, I wanna do more than that. But he's like, fuck, is that it? So I don't know, that one sort of cut deep. Yeah.
Do you read comments?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I used to read them incessantly. Like even when I had like 1 million plus subscribers, I would literally read every single one until I caught up, which was psychotic, and I could never do that again for my mental health. I think the mean comment that affected me the most was, I usually love your videos, but this one was kind of meh.
That's so bad.
Isn't that awful? Because it's
good.
because you know it's real. Because you're like, why? You know.
The comments that are the worst to me are the ones that are mean, but also kind of true.
You have like 1,000 nice comments
Yes.
and 5 mean comments.
Yes.
Will the mean comments still affect you?
Way more, yes. I would be, it's because it's, the default is people being like okay or even nice. And then people being mean, that's why it sticks out. Because it's kind of out of the ordinary.
Would you rather be called ugly or someone saying like, oh, you did this wrong?
I think I almost prefer being called ugly, actually.
Would you rather have somebody say you're bad at building stuff or that you're ugly?
Ugly. Your physical appearance can't be changed, but, you know, something like working hard can be.
And so when someone insults your work, it feels bad.
Yeah.
If someone's just like, oh, you got like you got like an ugly face and like, you know, your mom doesn't love you, and I'll be like, half of that is bullshit.
The most frustrating ones are the ones that, to me, aren't actually mean. Because it's kind of like, let's say you made a mistake in the video, and then every comment is just telling you how you made the mistake, and you're like, I know.
It's just annoying.
Yeah, it's kind of just like, you can't answer all of them. Or if you, like I said, you purposely didn't do something in a project, and then people kind of like trying to be smarter, be like, you know, you could have done this.
They didn't understand the context, like you're just trying to...
Yeah, and they're like, oh, you know, you could have done this. And I'm just like, I feel like I have to defend myself, but it's also I can't because there's 5,000 comments.
So like sometimes they think that like when you make a video, people don't understand what goes into making the video.
Yeah.
Sometimes you don't cover things.
Yeah, because my video, if it's already 30 minutes. If I put everything, it would be like 30 hours.
So you have to cut some stuff out.
Like everything. So like I don't explain a lot of stuff that I did. And then people will be like, you know, you could have done this. And I'm just like,
I've had people tell me they miss the William before his house burned down. You get anything like that with the...
She used to be funnier. Yeah, people miss the shitty robot days, which is fine. I get it. Part of me wants to appease that or feels guilty for changing in any way, but I think I'm always trying to remind myself that it's like, if I'm not happy with what I'm doing, then nothing, like that's not my definition of success or having a healthy career or stuff like that. Like I want to be proud of what I'm doing. And, you know, and that's the thing, like, of course your audience might change as you change and you cycle through new people. And it's like, okay, I might do this that people who like the old stuff that I did won't like, but then you might find other people who are really into what you're doing currently. So it's always just like, it's very free form. It's a living organism. Yeah.
I made like a
few choice comments that were not received very well by a community, and everyone started freaking out at me. And I decided to stand by my comment and like argued with these strangers. And I realized had I not done that, I would have had a much happier week. And instead, I had a very depressing week.
Why did you do it?
I do not have a good answer for why I engaged with those comments.
If someone was starting a YouTube channel, what I would tell them is you're not going to please everyone, right? Like that's true. I think everyone accepts that. But there's a corollary to that. There's like a flip side logically that I think people don't realize. It's that you're never going to please everyone, but that means you're always going to please someone.
They watched.
Bigger number, better person.
Bigger number, better person. I'm still making money off of it. So, you know what? Let me give you some advice. Just don't read the comments.
You just got to let it go.
I used to let mean comments bother me until I met a girl whose name was Emma, and she had osteosarcoma, and it was one of her wishes to meet me before she passed. And after meeting her for like 4 hours, and seeing how awesome she was and how awesome that moment was, and how grateful she was, and I was to meet her, for us to meet, nothing ever bothered me again. No mean comment ever, like, I was like, nah, I did good.
Maybe there's more important things.
Yeah, there's more important things than someone being like, you got a big nose.
I believe in reading the comments. I do. A lot of people say absolutely not, and perhaps for my own well-being, I shouldn't sometimes, but I forget that 95% of all of the comments I ever receive are wonderful.
If you're always going to make somebody happy and you're always going to make somebody unhappy no matter what you're doing, you might as well do like what you want to do.
So that was wow. I did not expect that of you. I expected it to be like,
so lowly of me.
yeah, like, hey, do you want to make
on frogs?
toast using your feet? Yeah. I'm like, no, you want to step on frogs?
You know, one time we were driving from here to Ohio, and it was raining,
Yeah.
and there was a state, I don't know where we were, but the road was covered in frogs.
No. Yeah. Oh. Well, good note to end on.